I sold a business this year that on, looking back on its 2 years revenue, it had about, about $350,000 of earnings. But in the last 12 months, it only had like 60,000 because it had a renewal that had not hit for some, this was a marketplace, kind of a SaaS company. So it did a pre-launch and got a whole bunch of customers and revenue in early 2019. We listed it in the middle of 2020. It did not show on the trailing 12 months. So I still got it a 7-figure price, and we closed 7 figures. Many of the buyers looked at it like, this thing's not even making any money. I'm not going to do this. But there are buyers who are smart about how this works, and they could see, okay, well, yeah, this pre-launch was in April of 2019. We're selling in July of 2020. It's not on the trailing 12 months. There's a renewal cycle coming up in December, January of 20 and 21. So we're going to see that we're not going to pay, $1 million now, but we'll do, 500,000 now. And then we'll do 500,000 after this renewal period comes up, because the renewal period was going to generate like 750 grand. So basically they were just, they were financing it, through the business's revenue. And for the entrepreneur, it's like, okay, let's do it. But he had impeccably documented his processes, his procedures, the technology stack, all of the programming that was built into it. Like there was a lot of documentation that went into it, and that became a really focal point for the transaction. And it's, I think it's really one of the things that pushed it over the edge to getting that deal done.
That's awesome. What a great story. I love that.
So documenting, it doesn't have to be a scary, thing. You have to do it one way or another. When you're going through transition, you're going to end up being, doing Zooms probably with your, the person on the other side of the table, for the buyer. If you're on the sell side, if you're on the buy side, you want to insist that the transition includes these this transition service, and you record these Zooms. Like, ask them, what are you doing? You wake up and you're doing this, and this, and you can use the offer memo straight out of our website closers manual, so to speak, as this the talking points to getting that part done. So something that can't be avoided. It can be easily transitioned and handed off if you go ahead and do some of those videos. It doesn't have to be super polished. You don't need to have professional lighting. I'm hiding my lighting. Just get yourself and sit in front of a window so they can see your face, and then capture your screen.
I have to be careful about the lighting. I don't want to blind anybody with the reflection right off my head. But I will tell you that, in addition to that, I love those ideas about just kind of recording that stuff. My book came out earlier this year, Maximize Business Value, and I'm actually almost done editing my second book, which will come out early next year. And what I use is a tool that's available to me. I hate to sit here and type, right? And so I turn on my microphone, I open a Google Doc, and I turn on Google Voice, and I just start talking, and it magically starts writing all of the stuff that I'm saying. And so it's really easy to go out and document stuff, even if you just want to record it.
Yep, absolutely. That's a great suggestion. I know Dragon Naturally Speaking has been a dictation tool that's gone on for years, and it costs like $100-200. We've got Siri now on our iPhones and stuff that does dictation. Macs have got these dictations. You got Google Voice. There's no excuse and no reason why it has to be difficult. Find whatever you're most comfortable doing. I like to do self-interviews as well. So if you know the questions that you need to answer, just write the questions out and then just refer to the questions. Literally read the question to yourself and then answer the question. Or have a friend, girlfriend, fiance, somebody make it a fun project with a family member, and and kind of do it that way.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Tom, we've got a couple more things on here. I want to talk a little bit about measuring and monitoring customer satisfaction. And I'll frame up this one too, because in the world of online business, there's some great places to measure customer satisfaction. We've got Google reviews. For anything that's related to, Facebook, there's, Facebook has, reviews as well. There's also advertising on Facebook. There's, the whole, insights around your advertising and what your satisfaction stuff is there. On Amazon, there's, of course, a massive review system. So there's a variety of different ways that we can look at customer satisfaction. Tom, what's your thoughts about measuring and monitoring customer satisfaction?
So very important for e-com, because bad reviews can kill your business, right? I mean, that is a business destroyer in your business. Not in all businesses, though, right? And so, bad reviews, you should measure and monitor those and make sure that you keep very high, accurate content. But I say measure your net promoter score, right? Look at who are your promoters. And that a net promoter score, if you're not familiar with that, is just a one question survey. Would you recommend my business to a colleague? And if the answer is yes, it's a scale of 1 to 10. If it's a 9 or a 10, they are what you would call a promoter. They would go out there and actively promote your business. If it is a 7 or an 8, then they're only a moderate promoter, and so those don't get counted. If it's 6 or below, these are people who have some level of dissatisfaction with you, and you want to be able to reach out to them and improve that, because you want everybody to be a 10, right? Whenever you get your car serviced, don't they always say, hey, you're going to get a survey, and 10s is the only thing we really like, right? And so the point is that if you don't measure your customer satisfaction, then you can't improve it.
Comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?